Yeah, it's that time again. Tuesday night, we're going live. It's about to go down. So, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Lee. This is Overland Radio. And tonight, Ashley and I are going to talk about technology, kind of, sort of, maybe content creation, YouTube, and other forms of media. Things we like and we dislike. I probably have more dislikes than I have likes, and way more opinions. But anyway, before we get started, let's make sure that we send a special shout out and thanks to our sponsors, Overland Attic, Rugged Bound, and Midland Radio, Midland, USA. Thank you very much for supporting us. We do appreciate it. Do us a favor if you're watching this on social media, go, do that share thing for us and all the good fun stuff. We'd really appreciate it. So, what do you say we bring in? I don't even know what costume she was wearing earlier, but had some kind of weird costume on, and then I think she got too hot and took it off. So, but she is dressed. I will say that.
Hey everyone. Yes, Chad failed on us.
He did.
So
it was legit. I mean, he's kind of got something going down. So
I'm not mad, other than the fact that he told me if he came on this week, I had to wear my sloth onesie.
That's what you had on. Okay, yes. The sloth.
So when Lee pulled up the backstage area, I was on before him, and that's all he saw was my face covered with this sloth onesie, which was awesome. Kind of sad I didn't see your reaction because it was covering my eyes. But yeah.
I thought you looked like a big turd sitting there, but whatever.
Everyone's so I wore it at Rendezvous. Some people thought it was like a bear or something, but the best part about it is it has glittery 3 toes.
Shut up.
Yeah, so the little mitts that I can put over my fingers.
That's just stupid, but okay, whatever.
It is not stupid.
I'm kidding. Let me switch our layout again here.
So what are you doing? I keep moving from side to side.
I know. Just relax a minute. There we go. I'm trying to get it all organized.
You're talking about content creation.
Yeah, no
and
shit.
Then you're sitting here doing this.
So listen, for everybody that's listening or watching, tonight we're kind of shifting gears. We were going to have Chad on, but some things came up he's got to do. And so my backup plan is we're going to talk about content creation. We're going to talk about the gear that you use to create content. And then we're going to talk about, some of the things with posting to YouTube and, different types of, I guess, what content creators do. And I'll just go ahead and throw this out for the record. I think that people who create content and tell stories are amazing. People who create content and grow their channels and get big, not all of them, but some of them turned into real douchebags. I'm just going to tell you now. So
Lee,
there's big time content creators out there that I wholeheartedly admire their work and how much they put into it. And then there's some that are just pricks, plain and simple.
I'm not even touching on that one. I'm not doing it.
Why not?
Because that opens up a huge can of worms.
It's okay though. I mean, look, it's just honestly, it's more of a, I don't know. I guess in all the stuff that I've done and all the places that I've been in expos and events, I've run into a lot of content creators.
Yes.
And wholeheartedly, there are some freaking awesome people. I mean, they're just some awesome people. They're extremely humble. They're thankful for the way that they've built and grown their audience and viewers and how they've gotten to where they are. And then there's just some of them who just all they care about is how much free stuff I'm going to get, how much money am I going to make off of this video, and all that stuff seems to come before the heart and soul and the passion gets put into making the content.
I can see that.
That's just, I mean, I enjoy making content, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm just doing it because, well, I don't know. I'm just bored, I guess. I don't know. I don't I don't go out and create videos like a lot of these guys do, primarily because I don't want to put the work into it. It's just plain and simple. I don't want to go out and put the work into it. So that's me.
I mean, Jeff and I have talked about, starting up a YouTube channel, just doing, yes, I already saw Josh. I love you too. I've missed you.
Van City Adventures all the way from Jamaica, Mom.
I am so jealous. I just want to be hanging out at the beach. But like we talked about doing a YouTube channel, it's just the finding the time and the editing seems to be the hard part for us. We'll do little snippets and then we'll try and do some editing, and it's just
there's nothing easy about it.
No, nothing at all.
That's why I say the content creators that create really good, genuine stories. And I know everybody has an opinion about, what YouTube channels they like to watch and things like that. If I click on a YouTube, because I think the image that they put up looks good or interesting, I can immediately decide whether or not I'm going to watch the whole thing, because if it's just not a story, it's a lot of them are just the same old things. And I don't know. Boy, there's a lot of things I really want to go down these rabbit holes, but I'm really trying not to.
Please don't. Don't embarrass us both, please. Not tonight. I was going to do it already with the sloth onesie, and that didn't work. So
no, but like, the equipment. So let's talk about the equipment. I carry a few cameras and a few things with me, and I document some of this stuff. But there's times that I go on a trip and the drone never makes it out of the bag. The big camera never makes it out of the bag. I only got 3 pictures on my iPhone. That's all. Yeah. I mean, I'm just living in the moment. So anyway, you know how it is. But wait. Here's a loaded one. Donald wants to know how his videos are. You don't want to know what I think, Donald.
Hi, Donald. It's been a while.
I'm just teasing. Actually, so Donald, I'm going to be very honest with you. It's been a long time since I've watched one of yours, but I will go watch one of yours and I will send you a message, because I remember one of them that I watched, and it's been a long time. Can't recall the whole thing, but it was pretty funny and entertaining. And those are great. I think that you need that entertainment, right, Ashley?
You do. I think when it comes to the content, you have to have an outgoing personality, because if you're super monotoned, people get bored. Hence why people like our shenanigans and yours and Mike's when it was you two, because you two have a lot of personality. So it works out that way.
Yeah, I think, we don't all resonate to the same viewership or viewers, if you will. There are people who do not care for the kind of content that we put out doing this show, and I totally respect that. I really do. It's not for everybody. We say some things that are a little off the cuff from time to time, and I have opinions and views about certain things. Like, I hate Tread Lightly, just plain and simple. There's no two ways about it. So I mean, but that doesn't resonate with people, and I understand that. And I support somebody else going, hey, you know what? That's just not for me. I don't want to watch it. It doesn't hurt my feelings, but I don't have that ego about it. And some of these guys with these YouTube channels, I'm telling you, man, if you could just pull them to the side and go, and casually, very nicely, you know how to do, is just say, hey, I kind of like your YouTube stuff, but every time I've ever met you in person, you're kind of a condescending dick. But
sorry, I'm having flashbacks right now.
And so
from some interviews where y'all throw me blind into wine.
That guy's great.
I'm just saying.
I love him. He is hilarious.
You two blindsided me.
I know.
So bad.
I know.
And he came across that just that way.
We told him to give you every bit of crap that he could possibly throw at you.
Oh, he nailed it.
And he did.
He nailed it.
For those of you who don't know, we're talking about Sir William from Sir William Goes. He's one of those guys where you either like him or you don't. I like him. I think he's a really cool guy, and I know him kind of not in the content creation part. So it's a little, I have a little different view or perspective of him. Not everybody gets to see that part. And that's another thing with YouTube channels. Me, I can say this person, this content creator, I think is a pompous ass, but I've only known them in the realm of
what they post
on YouTube and or social media. I don't have that personal relationship with them. So in all fairness, that may be a persona kind of thing. That may be what they do. I don't know.
I don't even know what your opinion of me was from my content when I first started to when we actually met. But I just remember the phone call after the island camp out where you're like, okay, you can dish it and you can take it. You're pretty cool.
Well, yeah, that's, you're able to kind of take that. I hate to use the word hazing because people are like, "Ooh, hazing."
Oh no,
but
you and Mike haze the hell out of me.
But you were able to take it.
Yes.
You were able to turn that around and give a little bit of that back in your own way. And so I think that that's fun stuff. But the YouTube creators, I won't. And of course, tonight, just for everybody's reference, I'm not going to single out anybody and mention names. I know Ashley's probably somewhat freaking out because she thinks I'm going to say.
Yes, very much so. Terrified you're going to start listing somebody.
I'm really not. And I don't know that it would be fair to do that because, again, this is strictly how I see things. It doesn't necessarily make it right. So, but let's talk about some gear. What kind of camera do you guys use?
Well, so Jeff and I primarily, we just use our phones. And because we've packed my big camera, my Nikon, and it never comes out of the bag. We've taken the drone. It never comes out of the bag. We went to use it at Rendezvous and the winds were so bad. He's right there. Same. He was so bad about the drone. Gavin went to use it at Rendezvous and the winds were so bad you couldn't get it up in the air. So we just use our phones and then it's a battle.
Hamster.
What is with the hamster? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I may not be on board with that whole back end joke. I'm sure there's something there, but
I don't know. Michael earlier gave me a really great compliment. So he's one of my favorites right now. But I kind of want to know what the hamster is.
I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, hazing. No. Thanks, Patty. Love you too.
I'm not gonna. Yeah. First of all, Jeff, you're in the same house as she's in, and so we don't want to make her mad because
I know where you sleep.
Yeah, because personally, I like Jeff a lot, and I'd really like to be able to hang out with him again at camp sometime, and not go to his funeral.
It depends on how much he pushes it tonight.
But see, you're like me, okay? We have all that equipment. I have 3 or 4 of those action cameras that I've just kind of somehow or another acquired, and I hardly ever use them.
Right.
I got 2 or 3, and I will say this: I use the stuff. I have a NAS server right here, a network area storage. It's got like almost 100 terabytes or whatever in it, and it's just got gobs of content in there, pictures and photos and videos and stuff, but I never assemble it.
Right.
Because I don't have that patience. And Michael says he's team Ashley, the Alaskan. Who's that again?
Yeah, Michael's my favorite right now. Jeff, you might just be getting bumped out.
Poor Michael, our Michael, is in Alaska, and he's getting the raw end of the deal, and he's not even here to defend himself, the poor guy.
But we love Michael, too.
We still love him, yeah. We do. Anyway, but then you got all this equipment, all this electronic stuff, and I feel like sometimes you miss the opportunity to be in the moment.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
No, it's very true. There's been times where you splash through a puddle and you're like, hey, that would have been really cool to catch on the drone or the camera. And so you got to back up and you've got to try and do it again. Well, the chances of you hitting it just the right way again.
Right.
It's really hard. And so it's just easier for us to use our phone. Now, granted, Jeff and I argue because he is Android and I'm Apple. So we have that constant battle.
Hold up. He's Android?
Oh, yeah. He's got a Google phone.
Well, okay. Explains everything now. It's all clear as mud.
I warned you about him, and you're like, oh, no, he's great.
I think he is great. I think he's stupid. I'm teasing Jeff. I mean, seriously, Jeff, if you come over to the dark side, it's much better.
Oh, don't get him started because he has an iPhone for work and he complains about it constantly. And then he goes, okay, I found one thing I like about this phone. He goes, but don't tell anybody.
Katie says, let's not hate on the Android.
Katie, you missed a sloth earlier, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, everyone missed it.
Wait, so Jeff has a Google phone?
Yes.
Seriously, this explains a lot to me now. I completely get it. I've wondered. Now I get it. Okay.
Okay, what is it that you get? Because maybe you need to explain it to me because I'm married to it and not getting it.
There's times that like you don't. I don't know. Jeff's not an interactive posting or social media kind of person, and that's because Android sucks at that shit. So anyway, now we know.
Yeah. I mean, this is just the constant fight. I
wish I had that little
MacBook.
I wish I had that little. Do you remember the commercials they used to run that they play the little deal where they give you like an informative piece or tidbit of information, and at the end it would run this little banner and have a star and say, "The more you know," or "Now you know," or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Michael says, do people still use the GoPro?
No, we don't.
I use DJI Osmos, the Osmos cameras. I like them better. I have an old GoPro and it does still work. And I will say occasionally it does get used, but honestly, I like the DJI because I like the filters. You can pull the screen off, or the lens off and put an ND filter on it. So I do that. And the smartphone thing has just gotten to be so crazy now for content creators and doing almost anything you want to do that, you really don't have to have. I mean, you could almost take a phone and a drone and do everything you need to do to create a video.
That seems like the where they're going with it is.
Here's the drinking right here. I got Oil Fire and Coke tonight.
I don't have anything. Well, I have sweet tea because I'm still drinking caffeine because I have actually been up since 1:30 this morning, unable to go back to sleep. So at 2:30, I was doing dishes and cleaning my kitchen.
Let's go down this rabbit hole real quick. My wife goes to Slim Chickens to get dinner tonight because we were late getting ready. We just didn't cook. I had a tri-tip that was supposed to go on the grill. Anyway,
slacker.
I know, right? Comes home and she's got sweet tea, but it's not sweet tea. It's unsweet tea. And Amelia, who we keep gallons of tea in our refrigerator for, she's like, well, let me try it. I've never had unsweet tea. And she takes a sip of it and gags and spits it everywhere. And I'm like, that a girl. Only sweet
That's
tea.
Emma. So Jeff makes fun of us because when it comes to sweet tea, we'll go to Raising Cane's and get sweet tea.
Yeah.
And buy it by the jug and keep it in the refrigerator. So as soon as I get low, I've got to go back and get more. And he's like, just make it. I was like, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
We have Milos in here. I used to make my own tea like Grandma did, and that's what got Amelia started. But we do Milos because the Milos plant's 3 or 4 miles down the road. But we don't buy it from there. But I mean, we always have it in stock somewhere. So
Emma says she doesn't like the Milos as much.
She doesn't?
HTO is really good too. They're over at 71st Memorial, so they're too far for me.
HTO. That's a new one. I haven't heard of that one. Anyway, sorry, we went down that rabbit hole. So back to the GoPros.
Okay.
I have one. I don't really use it. I use the DJI Osmos. What do you have a GoPro?
We do have a GoPro. I think we've only used it twice since we bought it. Ask Jeff. I don't know. We haven't used it in so long. I have no idea.
Like I have one that doesn't even have a number on it. It's so old. You know how they started doing like the 6, the 8, and they get.
I don't know if it's a 7 or 9. Look, I was wrong. It was an 8.
You have an 8.
Yeah.
See, I have one that's sold. It doesn't even have a number associated to it.
You have one of the dinosaur ones?
It's like a different color. It's a dinosaur one. So, dude, the Ryan Palmer with vodka is legit. There's a whole nother chat going, or there's a whole nother subject going on. Anyway, so onto the GoPro stuff. I don't use it like the odds most. I have an old drone. What drone do you guys have?
We have the DJI drone. I don't know. I got it for him for Christmas, and then we have a small one of Gavin. So we actually have two.
Why the fuck don't I have Jeff on here? Why do I have you on here?
Do you want me to go get him?
No, I'm just teasing.
He's watching. Just tell him to come on in the room, and he can sit here and talk.
He's answering in the chat. But okay, you have the Air 2S. It's according to Jeff. See, Jeff just posted in the chat like, "Hey, no big deal. I got it." So I have an old DJI Mavic Pro, the original one that's from 2017.
No.
And I hardly ever fly it. And I keep telling myself I see these new videos where these content creators are using the newer drones, and I'm like, wow, photography is just fantastic. I really like it. Maybe I should buy another drone. And then I sit there for a minute and I think, how many times have you flown that drone? No, probably not going to do that yet.
I think Gavin flew his little one, and it's just a little mini one out at Goose Island one time. And he was so paranoid about it that he wouldn't fly it just very far, just barely overhead. And then he flew it at Bonfire last year and crashed it into a tree. Bye, Michael. Crashed it into a tree and broke a couple of the propellers, so we had to swap them out. But
oh no,
he hasn't flown it since then. He likes Jeff's because it's bigger, but it's always charged and we never use it.
So for those of you listening or watching that are in the chat, what drones are you flying? I mean, it seems like everybody has the DJI.
Well, Donald said he has the Air 2S as well.
Oh, does he? Okay. Yeah. I just, I am totally fascinated with them. But again, it goes back to the whole, I'm always in the moment. I never seem to want to, I'll take a few pictures to capture that memory, but I end up doing more of this stuff, like what we're doing here, where you go live or you sit up and do an interview or things like that. So
I've got some friends that their content that they post it's beautiful. The way that they work it is absolutely amazing. They get the drone footage, they get camera footage, they get it from their phones. Yeah. And I would love for them to just sit down and show me how to do it. Granted, they're in a different state, so I'll have to work that out at some point. But their content is just always mind-blowing, and I love watching their stuff.
With that being said, what's the name of their channel? Let's give them a shout out, because obviously it's something you like and we're not bashing. So we could share that.
Bashing.
We could share that stuff.
See, now you put me on the spot and I got to Google it. But it's Alex you made me the Schneiderbeck. I could not remember how to pronounce her last name.
Schneiderbeck, right?
I've been up since 1:30. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yes, Katie knows.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I think I've actually watched some of theirs.
Their stuff is great. They've gone up and they've done the Arctic Circle. They're working on their way down the whole byway. They're working on their Forerunner sitting, I think, in Mexico now, waiting for their next turn to go out, and then they'll leave it someplace else and pick it back up.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. One of my favorites is, and I'll give a shout out, he's been on the show a couple of times, is Chad from Living the Van Life. If you've never watched his cinematography,
his stuff is great, but I am so anti-van life.
I know you are.
Do it.
I honestly, I like, we could have a whole nother show about that too. But Here,
Jeff put Alex Schneiderbeck, and it's Made
That's a hard one to remember. I give you a pass for not being able to spit
1:30
that.
this morning. Okay.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I just like the cinematography when he does a video. Just forget for a moment the van life part of it and just look at the cinematography. It's just amazing. And there's other people like that. Will from Venture to Rome, he's been on here. I love his cinematography and he does a good job. But you know who's one of the upcoming YouTubers that I think is somebody that everybody needs to go follow and watch?
Who?
Caleb from Baker Overland.
Really? Okay.
He is exactly the kind of content creator that I look for. He's a storyteller. He's a freaking good storyteller. And he's got some ghost story stuff and things that are done down there in Arkansas. And I mean, he's got a good persona. He's got a good voiceover. But more importantly, he takes the time to really create something. And
as long as he's not being like you and blowing stuff out of proportion, we're good.
Oh, I'm going to think that was a shot across the bow. Jeez.
Felicia will agree with me.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm not even sure. That kind of stings a little bit. Anyway.
I need control of the comments because Katie even comments about, love Val and Alex. So for those who haven't watched their stuff, go watch it.
Why would I want to give you control?
Because you're mean to me and I need control.
I don't know. I don't think I can here. It says I can kick you from the studio.
Yeah, where you can kick me from the studio. Don't do that.
It doesn't say anything about giving you control of the comments, but we'll work on that and see if we can't figure it out. There's got to be a way. Anyhow, so yeah, as far as the YouTube channels go, there's definitely some love and hate going on.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys all listening or watching, but I actually spend a fair amount of time watching, different YouTube channels, and even some of them that, and I won't mention their names, obviously, but there's some that, just 3 years ago, I don't know about you, Ashley, but there's certain channels that I really enjoyed watching. And then the dynamics changed. I don't know what happened. It became more of an infomercial for products. And sometimes that just loses me. I get you want to make some money to help, feed the need,
right?
To get out and adventure. Totally get it. Support it. I think it's a great thing. But there's a point, I think, somewhere in there where, and you may or may not agree, is that too much of that stuff just becomes, it makes you numb to what the real story or the plot to what it is that they're showing, because of advertisements,
right?
Or, everybody's got it. Today's sponsor is, and then they go through this whole spiel.
I still need to do, I'm not going to lie, I still need to do like a little video for Chad for the hammock thing.
Yes.
Only because I think it is so freaking cool. And I have not been able to set it up yet. I mean, now it's raining and it's going to rain for the next week. Oh, Lord.
That's actually a kind of a good way to look at it, Ashley. More of a national. I mean, unless Jeff's wanting to see all the, Aborigines, the titties and their.
Really, you had to go there. And this is why I make comments about, blowing stuff. You blow things out of proportion.
Jeff just like pulling up National Geographic magazine, see what kind of. Never mind.
Stop it.
Saggies he can find.
Stop it. So Mike with Tulsa Body Liners on. Hey, Mike.
Oh, hey, how's it going? I have to agree. He says I have to agree. I stopped watching many YouTubers because of that. Yeah. I mean, it's there, but trail exploration. I think I just watched one of your videos today, and it was a good video.
He does great.
Yeah, he really does. And I hate to say this and maybe admit it, but it may have been the first one that I've watched.
You should be offended.
Well, don't be offended. I mean, there's a lot out there, you don't always get to it and you stumble across something, but, yeah, I think his is the one I watched where he and his wife were posing in front of the National Forest signs or something like that. So it looks like they have a pretty good time together. The two of them. If this is the right channel, if it's not, I'm sorry and I apologize. But
I'll help you kick Lee's butt later.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
you.
But I think it's your channel. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, moving on. I won't say too much more.
Yeah,
about
before
that.
you get in trouble.
No. I'm not gonna. Donald thinks we should do some dad jokes.
No, Donald does not think we should do some dad jokes.
Okay, I was right. It is them. See, I told you. I just watched that video where he and his wife were getting their picture, or they were posing in front of the national. I think it was the Ozark National Forest. The big signs.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I've seen that one.
That's their thing. That they take their pictures in front of the National Forest signs, which I've never thought about doing that, but I think it's a great idea.
I've tried to convince Jeff of that a couple of times, and he just drives past it. He goes, "There's not a good spot to pull over." And then I always try when we hit different states I always would like to do the ones where you can pull the car off the side of the road and get the picture of the 4Runner with the state sign.
Right.
But they put them in the most awkward places. And it's damn near impossible to get over there.
It depends on what state you're going to and how you're entering it. If you're on the interstate, it's never a good place.
No.
Like if you go to New Mexico and you drive out the Oklahoma Panhandle and you go into New Mexico, there's enough room to park 5 semis on the side of the road there to take pictures in front of the New Mexico sign.
Right.
But if you're on the interstate, there's nowhere to do it. So
no, not at all. But if you go on the interstate, like you're heading towards New Mexico, there is a county just outside of Amarillo.
I know, it's your last name.
Yes. And I found in a tournament I'm going to get this freaking
And every
sign.
time I pass there, I had this like, ooh.
You're such
what
a
the hell?
I just want someone to get the sign for me.
I'm just teasing. I think I actually tried to take a picture of that one time. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to look back through my photos because I think I'm not going to do it now. There was a place in Arizona or Utah, and it was a road, and it was a road sign. Your last name. Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway.
It's just such a unique last name but there's a whole county in Texas that is Oldham County. And if someone could just give me the sign, I'd greatly appreciate it. I want the sign so bad.
There you go. So, hey, what's everybody's favorite? Levi's in. Look, there's another guy.
What's going on, Levi?
So Levi is the man, and he's retired now. Thank you for your service. I know you're enjoying that new he got a GMC for his company truck at Rhino Rack. So
really,
I can't wait to see it all built out. I see a couple of pictures, so I'm just I'm anxious to see how he, what he does to it. Anyway, so back onto the content creator stuff. Ashley,
what? I'm gonna do one about the hammock thing. The hammock stand.
You're gonna do one about the hammock.
I have to.
Oh, look who's in here now,
Alex. Alex, I just went on about your
ears were burning or had to have been burning, right?
It had to have been because I was talking about your videos and your posts and how you absolutely blow me away with your content and seeing the ventures that you and Val go on.
There you go.
Miss you guys.
So you can watch the show after it ends. You can go back and look at that first part and you can see where you came up and you were at least a 5 or 10 minute subject.
He was a big topic for a little bit.
I know, right? So, well, we appreciate you jumping in here, Trail Exploration. We appreciate you jumping in here too. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
And everybody. So yeah, thanks. So, hey, everybody, throw me out there some of your YouTube channels that you like to watch so I can go watch them. Really, I'd like to, because I watch a lot of them, but I watch more. I've gotten now to where I watch more stuff in another genre than overlanding. But
do I want to know what genre you're talking about?
Well, I'm still wanting to do the Great Loop, so I'm really focused on a lot of the stuff with doing the Great Loop and the big boats. So I'm trying to figure out, that stuff. It's just one of those things. Plus, then I watch a lot of stuff about podcasting and I'm building the truck to be a mobile studio and that kind of stuff. So I have a lot about that. That's what I watch mostly. But I'd really like to watch some good overlanding stuff. I watch Chad from Living the Van Life. I watch Caleb at Baker, which he doesn't put out enough stuff, but when he does, it's really, really good. So I'm sure it takes time. And then who else do I watch consistently? I mean, I think I watch a gamut of all of them. What about you? What do you watch consistently?
Alex is really the only one I watch consistently. Jeff is the one who watches a lot where I'll pick it up because I'm working and then I come home and I have to deal with the kids and their homework because as everybody knows that we discussed last week, Gavin got behind on schoolwork. So that's taken a lot of our chunk of entertainment away. So we're having to restrict stuff. So I get to be the bad mom.
Of course.
Yes.
A Chinook camper mounted on an 80 Oof.
That sounds incredible.
I really like to see that. Honestly, I don't know that I've seen it. Levi, I'm with you. I have enjoyed watching the BDR stuff myself. I keep saying that, earlier this year I said that I got permission to buy a bike and attempt to do some of these before physically I can't do it anymore. But I've kind of just not.
And say, what happened to the bike idea?
It's still there. Honestly, It really is. I think it's just me more procrastinating because I have other things to do. And when I get something like that, I don't know about everybody listening or watching, but if I take on a project like a bike, I want to be able to put everything into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like all my focus and one thing and another. And I'm still focused on this Alucab and getting that done. Because thank God.
Isn't that the bike that and brain's tired, so please excuse me, Andrea and Jeff have?
Very similar
down
to
in
theirs.
Panama.
Yeah. I saw their post where they were in Nicaragua, I think.
Yeah.
And same type of bike,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not gonna. I don't want to invest that much money into a bike because I know that I'm gonna tear it up. So.
That and your attention span is
and I'll
small.
end up using it for a while and then turn around and just going, okay, I'm done. Let's go to something else. So I've enjoyed the BDR stuff. If anybody hasn't watched those, there's a ton of them out there. I think my favorite is actually the one that goes on the East Coast, believe it or not. Yeah.
Why that one?
I grew up on the East Coast and it's just prettier to me.
I can agree with that. I grew up on the East Coast. Especially
the fall colors, the changing of the leaves. I think it's just so much more, I don't know. And, and there's still plenty of off-road stuff, but you got a lot of just backcountry road stuff, which I would enjoy doing. So anyway, Chad says he bought a XR150 Jeep Fun. That and a couple of beers, you have a ball, man. All right. Good night. Thanks.
Bye,
Mike. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you joining us. So the bike thing's still there, but but here's the thing. If I get a bike, I don't think I'm gonna put a camera on it. And I like watching the bike channels like Itchy Boots, that lady that's gone around the globe on her Honda.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty rad. And she films a lot.
I don't know how people keep up with the batteries, honestly.
I don't know.
The GoPros suck through them so fast.
Yeah, and I don't know how they somehow manage that time to create the video. I mean, unless they're uploading this stuff and somebody's doing it for them, they've hired somebody that edits, to the style that they want it edited.
Right.
I don't see how somebody like Itchy Boots keeps up with it.
I can't do it on a day-to-day basis just with normal life. Hi, Kara. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us.
I can't do it on a normal day. So just being, watching people be able to do that is fascinating to me. I'd like to learn. Hopefully I can figure out time to do it, but we'll see. So
when it comes to the content creation stuff, I would love to spend or have the ability to do it, a little bit more. I just don't. And it's, again, I think it's just how I'm wired, but I see all these content creators and they put all this stuff out and I'm like, there's a guy, Van City Van Life, not Van City that was on here, but Van City. He's in British Columbia. He's a van guy as well. And so I know you don't watch him because you're
No.
a hater.
I'm not a hater. I can't do it. Okay, you have to realize I grew up with the full size vans.
I'm just giving you a hard time. It's okay.
But can you imagine a big brown one taking you to school?
Yeah, we had one that my grandfather, when I was 7, bought a brown. I mean, it was ugly brown too.
Mm-hmm.
Two-tone brown because it had tan across the bottom of it.
Yep.
And he put a couch in there, cut a hole, put a window, cut another hole, put an air conditioner, had a sink, had all porta potty in there. I mean, my grandfather was doing van life back in the 80s, but or 70s.
Okay, so this was like my parents' daily driver, and it had the 2 captain's chairs in the front and the captain's chairs in the middle, and the bench seat in the back. And then it was great because it had the TV with the VCR.
I get it.
It was horrible. I grew up where I was a minority, so to roll up to school, and that was horrifying. So I just couldn't do
it. When you get a little older, you'll probably start to come around.
No, I won't.
I'm teasing. But this Van City Van Life guy, he's based out of British Columbia. His legal name is Chrome. He changed it. He has a bulldog named Cruz. This guy posts a video every day of the week.
No.
Every day. And it's not junky videos. And the part that I like so much about it is that every day it's a continuation of what happened the day before. So it's like a vlog. Sleep? Yeah, he sleeps, but it's kind of like the vlog thing, you know. It's but it's not a vlog thing. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that's going on. And so I kind of like it, but I just can't get the whole content creation. I don't think anybody out there ever has to worry about me putting out a lot of videos.
I say I'm going to do this one. Sorry, Chad. Hopefully I actually get to do it, but yeah, I'd like to. It'd be awesome. Katie's laughing. She says, poor Jeff. He's never going to get a van. No.
Yep.
That's going to be his, Alex, and Pedro's. That's going to be their retirement. Those 3 can go get into shenanigans together.
They're going to call it the stabbing cabin.
Oh, God.
But it's only the 3 of them in their kilts and crop tops together. Oh dear God. We may have just taken a turn down a real dark hole.
We did. Let's go back the other way.
So 3 guys in a van wearing kilts and crop tops.
No. You can't unsee.
There's a first 48 hours coming up for that. There's got to be an episode the first 48. Oh, jeez. Sorry, Jeff. I'm just.
Yeah, Katie, we will just.
Yeah.
We will watch their shenanigans online when they post them and disown them for a little while.
So, I guess that's kind of my take on the whole content creation thing. I wished I was better at it.
I do too.
I wished I had more time to do it.
Yes.
I wish I wouldn't have spent so damn much money in gear that I don't use. Horribly bad decision on my part. But wearing the 5 glasses. Oh no.
Alex, you need to get in the van too with the other.
What was this guy's name? Are you talking about the Van City Van Life guy, Kara?
Probably. Or she might be having nightmares about the idea of the boys in the van.
Yeah. You know what? Somebody's probably thinking about getting a visual of those 3 guys in kilts and crop tops in a van, and they probably all are going to leave because they're getting nauseous.
Well, Katie says that they need to get an updated school bus.
An updated school bus. Kara, his name, his YouTube channel is Van City Van Life. And again, this guy's name's Chrome. That's his legal name. He did change it, and he's got a white van, but he actually has 3 of them or 4 of them. And anyway, as crazy as it seems, Kara, his story is kind of neat because he faces he's just had some horrible challenges with mechanical and things like this. But the guy puts out a video basically every day, and it's a continuation of what was done from the day before. So for me, I kind of like it. It's, one of those things. And he's I'll tell you another thing, guys, that I like about this guy. Jeffrey
Not
needs a
happening.
van,
It's
Jennifer
not happening.
says.
It's not happening unless someone is
Oh,
donating the
God.
van to him. It is not happening.
Jeff is a grown man. He can make his own decisions. He can,
Nope.
if he wants a van, he can buy one.
He got told at Big Iron, if he wants a van that badly, we can get divorced and that's where he can live in. Because I am not joining.
Jeff, there is there's an out, dude.
There is his
There's
out.
your out. He's I didn't realize how many subscribers he had, but yeah, Carrie, he's got a lot. And anyway, I just like him because he's a humble kind of guy. He's not I don't know. I think if you just spend some time watching him, he's a pretty neat guy. It's like Chad. I talked to Chad quite a bit, and I always think that, Chad having as many subscribers and as much content that he has that, but he'll sit down and he'll just talk to you like he's known you forever. And
That's my favorite. Is
his
when
mom
people
is just
sit
so
there and talk to you.
Yeah, and his mom is really cool, and but I mean, Chad and I had some other things that we just kind of clicked with when it came to certain life things. But
Right.
Anyway, so what's it say, Jeff? If you get a van, we can get rid of the kids. Hey, there you go, Jennifer.
She's implying that I'm going. I'm not going.
Here's the thing. Have you ever spent any time in any of those newer vans?
No.
Because, I mean, Felicia told me last year, she's like, and even earlier this year, she goes, if you really want a van, then okay, fine. That's, that's your decision. She kind of likes the idea of the van, but I don't think that's, either way, she's not going to go like I go. But I think Jeff needs a van, and then he needs to start a YouTube channel, and then he needs to create some content.
Of him and his buddies, of Alex and Pedro.
Listen,
and him.
I'm telling you that sex sells. And so if it's three guys in kilts and crop tops, there's going to be a lot of subscribers, and they ain't going to be guys like me.
I can't.
Will be no heterosexual subscribing to it.
These are images that I'm going to be going to bed soon that I'm going to have in my head.
I know, but it's fun. There it is. I'm going to go trademark the name right now. Only Vans.
You're just going to sign it over to him?
I'm going to trademark it real quick.
You would too.
Do what I do best. Buy up domains. Yeah, that's a whole nother subject we should talk about one night. Did y'all know that Lee buys web domains by the hundreds, and then I put them in auction or I sell them to companies, and people hate that.
They do hate it.
And I don't know why. It's not like I did it. For those of you who don't know, there's a certain I'm
not touching that one.
There's a certain establishment that I own the domain name for that I told them I'd sell it to them for, and they took offense to it for whatever reason. So
you wanted too much.
But they didn't counteroffer me. I always ask a high price because if somebody's willing to pay it, why not cash in, right? Isn't that how we do it?
Yes.
Anyway, only Vans. What's this?
Our OnlyFans would be Van Vibes.
Oh my God, that would be epic. I've heard this story several times. Oh, have you? So Yeah.
I said no, I wasn't going down there.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. I'm gonna stop it right there because I don't want to upset these people and make them even more mad because I don't know why they're mad. I invite them to my functions and they still don't come. Anyway,
hi Sean. You're gonna put his comment up there, and then you're not even gonna.
I know. I got sidetracked. Sorry. See,
this is why I should have control of the comments.
No, this is why you don't get control of the comments. Anyway, so back to the whole YouTube and content creation. Hey, listen, if you're a YouTuber out there and you happen to hear what Ashley and I are talking about tonight, I commend you for taking the time to really put the content out and do all the work. Don't get it discouraged if people aren't subscribing and liking, because your type of content may not resonate with somebody where it does with somebody else. So things will happen and progress along. My only piece of advice to content creators is don't be fucking pompous asses.
You're so sweet.
I'm serious. That's the only complaint I really have is that a lot of these YouTubers, their egos get the best of them. They want everything for free. And there's nothing wrong with a company sponsoring you or sending you some stuff, but just, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I've been at an event and heard a YouTuber going, "Hey, I got like, I don't know how many 100,000 subscribers. If you'll give me one of those, I'll put it on my channel."
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
but that's almost every YouTuber. They're all going to do that because they're trying to promote.
It is expensive.
Stuff's expensive. So that's every YouTuber. At least at some point.
Okay, maybe. I don't know that I would say every YouTube. That's maybe.
I mean, so we did when you guys blindsided me with the one interview.
With Sir William?
Yes. You guys had...
Why can you not say his name? Does it scare you?
I refuse. No, I'm joking.
Are you... I mean, is it like scarred you for life or what?
It really did scar me. I mean...
You did great. Even he was like, damn, she killed it.
Because it started off with he had to announce his pronouns. Like it was something I asked for. Just threw me for such a loop.
Oh,
I was
Lord.
not prepared. So yes, I'm scarred forever. But that expo, we were going around and we were asking people who were videoing to come and talk to us to promote their YouTube channels.
Right.
So to help them get their name out, which was fantastic.
Absolutely.
But I worked the CBI booth because a Forerunner was in that booth that year. And I can't tell you the amount of times I heard those people after talking to you or Mike and being on the show to promote their channel come up to CBI or wanting to be a sponsor or an ambassador or going over to somewhere else trying to do the same thing. It's more times than not, you always see that happen at the events.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a good place to network. And when it comes to sponsors and content creation, I think for me and for what we've done all along, it's been more of let's build a relationship first and let's give them something that they can go off of. Whether it be help them promote some products. I mean, I have companies that actually have reached out and said, "We want to come on and promote a product. What do you charge?" Like, nothing. I'll help you promote your product. I'm not here to, try to rape you or take you over the coals because, you want to just throw money my way. Hey, I'd rather do this. I'd rather help you promote your product. If you're satisfied with that, then come back to me later and let's talk about maybe some very small sponsorship stuff or sponsoring a segment here and there, one thing or another. I don't know that I just, when somebody hits me up like that, the first thing is no, just put the brakes on, but I do it differently.
I don't know. I'm like having someone on the show. It's like we've been talking to Logic, having Logic on, the guys from the coffee, been talking about them for the last 2 episodes. And they're going to be joining us in a couple of weeks. And I cannot wait to have them on so that they can talk about their coffee. And so I can brag on it some more and how I had to have Jeff get the old school coffee pot out so I could brew it in the house.
But you didn't create any content over that, did you? And post it on YouTube?
Nope.
Instagram?
Jeff posted it on Instagram.
He did. And
he
Facebook.
Did. He stole my photo and posted it.
Attaboy.
Yes. He posted it on Wander, and I mean, he did tag me in it, but
those are neat companies, and they're small companies, and I think it's cool to, try to help them. We're not going to make a huge difference in their their sales or product things. I mean, that's the realistic side of me, is that, mind you, we may see 20,000 plus people show up on our Facebook page and look at stuff and scroll through and watch the videos or whatnot each month, but that doesn't equate to a lot of sales for them. But if it does equate to a couple of sales, then okay, we've done something.
Right.
Those were sales that they wouldn't have had. And I think a lot of content creators out there that are creating content, that's, some of what they do helps those companies, sell more product, or they have an affiliate link or one thing or another. And I'm not anti any of that stuff. My whole rant at the beginning of this thing is that YouTube's losing, or I think content in general is losing some of its appeal because the stories aren't there. There's too much. For instance, some videos that you watch or some channels you watch, everything is the same every week.
I don't know. The kids stuff that my kids watch, it's stupid. And I'm like, why the hell are you watching this? So I see where you're coming from.
It's just, it's every week it's the same content, or it's the same camera angles. It's the same kind of story plot. And I think to an extent that has to be done to keep up with that algorithm, as everybody talks about. But I don't know. I just want to see some more creativity and less of the being a douche canoe.
Jennifer is very excited about the sumo wrestler
conversation
that we had last week.
We have to figure that whole logistics thing out. So I think we're going to end up with some sumo wrestling suits, and Jennifer and I are going to kick Ashley's ass.
No.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
she will back me up. No.
She's going to roll. And I'm going to be the referee in the sumo suit, but you two are going to go at it. She's going to roll you downhill.
No, she's not.
I bet she is.
Because she's not going to go up against me. We're going to go up against you.
How's that fair?
It's not. Since when do women play fair?
Yeah. Ashley and I against you.
See?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right.
I work for a bank. And clients will come in and he's like, hey, I'm here to give you some money. Okay. Well, do you want it? I'm a woman. You're not going to tell me. I'm not going to tell you no. So you handing over some money.
When and where is this going to? Yeah.
Lucas.
We're still working out some details about this. I don't know. We got Jennifer actually found the suits, which was kind of cool. She found the suit. I thought that was pretty awesome. So we have that, and we have the dad joke contest. We still got to get all that stuff worked out. So we'll have the dad joke contest, which Ashley's going to get smashed.
Oh, I will be. So I don't drink very often.
Yeah.
I will be gone in like 2 shots.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that once I start drinking, it gets hot. And if I start saying it's getting hot, we're bad. It's done.
Jeff's going to sit right there and he's going to make sure you don't do anything you're not supposed to do.
My 21st birthday.
Get up and leave.
My 21st birthday, my birthday's in February. We went out to a Mexican food restaurant and I ended up outside on their patio with my face on a metal table because it was just like I was burning up sweating. No.
Either way, Lucas, some of these things we got to figure out the logistics behind. Obviously, I don't know that doing sumo suits in the winter months is probably going to be favorable for us. So
probably not.
That may have to hold off until spring or summer or late spring or something. Because I'm not sure that little... Yeah, I don't know if we do the sumo suits in the winter.
I don't know that they'd really stay inflated.
Well, I think they have like a little fan on them that's constantly blowing air in there to keep them inflated. And if that's the case, you can freeze your rear end off. But anyway, either way, some of this stuff is going to happen.
I just know at some point I will end up on the ground and y'all are going to roll me around like the little blue girl, the little Violet from Willy Wonka. I see it happening.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun. And I mean, maybe that's some content we create for YouTube finally. What do you think?
Sure. I just put my hair up in a hairnet so it's not like on the ground and leaves.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've come up on an hour. I've made my piece about my disdain for
I don't even know that we've really talked about anything substantial.
We didn't really. I mean, we talked a little bit about content creation, obviously, and doing, what kind of equipment we're using and or people use. And again, I think we've invested in the equipment that we don't use. But
We have. Yeah.
but that maybe that's part of the fun. Have you ever thought about that?
No, because it just makes me mad because it sits there and collects dust.
I mean, because like I collect all those, and I don't shoot them very often. I shoot them some, but
Well, Mike asked you earlier if those were samurai swords, and you
I
didn't
saw
even
it.
respond.
Yeah, I saw it. I just kind of like let that one go because I figured then we'd go down a whole nother rabbit hole. But anyway, no samurai swords for me. I believe in lead poisoning, not slicing.
Oh God.
So, with that being said, you got anything lastly you want to tell everybody before you go? Any dark secrets?
If this sumo thing happens, someone pray for me because hopefully I make it back out in one piece.
You better hope the dad joke thing, somebody prays for you about that, because I plan on somehow, some way, making you laugh your butt off to the point where you got to drink every time.
You are so mean. Okay, I'm going to need backup.
Now, I'm not going to let you go so far that you get like alcohol poisoning. I don't want that. I don't want anything bad. I don't even want you to throw up, but I'm going to get you to the point where Jeff's going to be like, hot damn, it's a sure thing tonight.
I'm going to need backup. I'm going to need somebody else to volunteer to do this with me.
Jeff's got your back. Don't worry. Don't you, Jeff? Jeff will be a great assistant for you. No, Jennifer, you're not going to be her assistant.
Because you wouldn't make it.
It's going to be Jeff. Well, first of all, this is between the two of us. I'm not going to have anybody back. I'm not going to have anybody backing me up doing dad jokes and shots.
I never agreed to this. You threw me under the bus on the show.
Oh, whatever. You did agree to it. Now you're just kind of trying to back out of it. Just don't do any cutting on her bumper and she will be nice. Oh,
really? You had to bring that up.
Oh boy. All right. It's been nice knowing you, Jeff. Anyway, all right. Thanks everybody.
He's still alive.
I know. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us and listening to us ramble on about content creation, YouTube, and
everything else.
Everything else. We had a good time. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you to our sponsors, Overland Attic, Rugged Bound, Midland USA, and everybody else. Thank you very, very much. We do appreciate it. So I hope everybody has a great week.
Stay dry if you're in the Tulsa area.
Do what?
Stay dry if you're in the Tulsa area.
Yeah, no kidding. We're supposed to have like a week's worth of rain, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Join us again next week, and we'll see you then. Take care.
Have a good one.